What's going on, guys, and welcome your face back to another video. Today I am not joined by myself for once. It's been a long time since I've said that, but I have a very special guest with me today, and we go way back. And when I say way back, I still don't know how we know each other or how long we've known each other, but it's enough to say we go way back. So welcome, Caboose XBL. What is up, dude?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here. You know, I've noticed that you've been heavy on the coverage for Spider-Man PS4, and we got in touch. Like you said, we've known each other for so long, and we don't even know how.
Exactly.
So it's fate that brought us together here to talk about Spider-Man PS4.
Exactly, and the greatest thing is, like I said, even though we don't know, we just know it's long enough to say we have. That is great. But today we're going to be talking about probably the most interesting topic, at least to myself anyway, and it is what Insomniac kind of need to do but avoid at the same time for Spider-Man PS4. So when I say that, just to kind of break it down for you guys, I'm talking in the sense of like the open world gameplay in general and what's important in a player's perspective and what happens after the game. So even though I have touched up on this very slightly in like multiple videos, like ever so slightly before, it'd be great to kind of like talk about the more in-depth thing and of course get Caboose's opinions on this. So
yeah,
do you want to dive straight into this?
Let's get into it, man. Let's hash it out.
Let's dive into it. So what is important for you in an open world game, I guess you could say? So not just this specifically, but across all fields. Like, what do you look out for?
So I said this really recently, actually, when I was talking about the map size for Spider-Man PS4, and I think what's really important, whether the map size is big or relatively small, is there has to be a bunch of stuff to do within the city, whether it's finding collectibles, whether it's cool little Easter eggs that you can go out and search for, or, you know, whether it's side missions. Like, there has to be stuff that's always there. Now, granted, obviously with a single player game, there gets to a point where you've done everything, you know, and it's just so hard, especially for single player games, to keep you invested for like well over a year. But with Spider-Man, there's just so much for that character, and there's so much you can do with his world. So taking New York City, letting us explore as much of it as possible, especially considering how big they're saying the map is going to be, I am confident that Insomniac knows what they're doing, and they're going to give us plenty of activities within New York to keep us coming back to this game day in and day out.
Very, very true. I mean, I did hear recently a quest-filled New York as well. So that kind of like sentence alone just really shows, you know, what to expect. But talking about the map size, because I made a video on this the other day, right? So a lot of people kind of debate on this, you know, the bigger the map, the better the game, or the smaller the map, the essentially crappier a game, if you will. Like, I don't know how you feel about this, Caboose, right? But for me, it's about the density. So, like, certain open world games, at least in my opinion, I feel like creativeness for the player is kind of like a core element, if that makes sense. So, like, you don't want a game that you kind of free roam around simply for missions. Do you get what I mean? So, like, I want to be able to, like, complete the entire story, but know I still have a reason to play the game, as opposed to just leave it and kind of like dust it off and be like, alright, see you in about a year now when I'm going through my games and I've got absolutely nothing else to play. That's what I don't want to be, you know, in a situation with. And like you said, side missions, that alone, I mean, there are so many things you can do. Honestly, like, having the idea on like how big, you know, the map is, kind of like the basic things like robberies and so forth. And you know what, it was a great thing as well, and even though essentially it hasn't been confirmed, but like, we've technically been told we can play as Peter Parker, right? So
yes,
multiple characters is gonna be a thing. So the cool thing, right, and this, I really hope this is in the game, okay? Like, this would be cool as shit. So imagine you're like Peter Parker, right? You're walking down the street, but now you can have like human side missions. So like the cliche, you say like Easter eggs, delivering pizzas, alright?
Oh my god.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like it should be like it. I don't know. I feel like if that is not in the game, it should be illegal. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, even that or something like a Daily Bugle thing where, you know, you got to take pictures for Jonah or something like that. even, you know, we saw like a tiny glimpse in trailers where like it looks like you're playing as Mary Jane, so maybe there's like a swap where instead of playing as Peter taking pictures for the Daily Bugle, you're playing as Mary Jane and doing some investigating, and there's some side missions there that can get you involved with those different characters. That would be sweet to kind of switch perspectives. You know, you're not in the shoes of Spidey, you're in the shoes of some other character in Spider-Man's world. And it can definitely open up some opportunities for Insomniac with future games where obviously we have a character like Miles Morales showing up and what goes on in his storyline in comics. They can take that anywhere if they wanted to.
Yeah, even talking about Miles Morales, I can't remember how long ago this was said, but they did say he's going to have a much bigger role in the game than we do expect. So, like, I don't even know. I mean, could there be an option where you could maybe essentially switch into his world? Like, that would be awesome. Exactly, all these little things could combine. But going back to, like, doing the kind of, like, cliche side missions, but being a human, right? And when I say human, I literally just mean Peter Parker. But, like, in the sense of, I don't know, you're walking the street, right, as a casual, and you see a crime. How cool would it be if you can, like, go into any place this is, okay? So if you want to turn into Spider-Man in the middle of the street, you can do that, alright? But, like, that's gonna result in like, a few different things. So, I don't know, someone will simply reveal your entire identity, if you will. That could just be some sort of, like, I guess, fun side mission merged into,
maybe
like,
it becomes its own side mission or something.
Exactly. But, like, I mean, all these things could be cool. Also, another thing, and again, we've seen it in a trailer or a gameplay video, I believe, where Spider-Man's hanging upside down. The cliche screenshot, the cool ass screenshot when he's hanging upside down with a cell phone, right?
Yes.
Because we're going on, you know, Peter Parker now being, I forgot how old he's meant to be in this game, but, like, he's a mature guy now, right?
Yeah.
He's old enough to have a cell phone.
He's past his teen years. He's a experienced Spider-Man in this game.
There you go. So, what would be cool is if you're able to, you know, become Spider-Man and essentially have, like, selfies with yourself. And then you sell these images. You sell
that would be so cool.
So you sell...
Because sorry to interrupt, but if we're looking at games like Arkham Knight or even The Last of Us when it got ported to PlayStation, they had that photo mode. And imagine they have a photo mode in Spider-Man PS4 where it makes sense why you go into photo mode. You know, you set up your camera somewhere because you're taking pictures of Spidey for the Bugle, and you can set it up with, like, different filters and, you know, different lenses. Oh, that would be awesome. That is a seriously cool idea.
I know, Insomniac, if you're watching this,
hit me up with the application money form. For you. We're printing money for you.
Literally. But, like, you know, it's like another thing, because, like, if you want to sell your images, right, there's also, like, so taking the pictures is one thing, but, like, having a reason to take the pictures is another thing. So, like, if you can sell these cool ass images, and I don't know, like, what type of currency there will be, but let's just say there's, like, some sort of mythical currency in the game.
Spidey bucks.
Yeah, let's just imagine you can get that, right? So, like, the call of a picture, I don't know, when you sell it, and let's say someone buys it for X amount, you get these, like you say, Spidey bucks, and that's a great idea, Caboose. Insomniac, hire this man.
Hey, and if you want to take it a step further, you earn a certain amount of Spidey bucks, and boom, you can buy a new alternate skin for Spider-Man in the game or something with them.
Shall we just catch a flight to the...
Like, I don't know what Insomniac is waiting for. I hope they're watching this video right now and they're like, wow, what a missed opportunity. We gotta hire these guys.
I was gonna say, shall we just grab a flight and go to the Insomniac HQ now? I feel like we're wasting our time with this. You know, we got these ideas, but, like, I know you've spoke about, you know, custom suits in the past, right? You've had like you've had this wish list. So, like, again, just kind of like clearing that Spidey Bucks situation. If you get these Spidey Bucks, you can get enough Spidey Bucks to essentially unlock different things for your Spider-Man, essentially. So, because we know customization is going to be in the game, right?
Right.
What level 2, we don't know. I mean, it can
probably
be
like upgrading abilities, new gadgets, new different types of web shooters or stuff like that. Yeah. Especially we're in a world too, like, where microtransactions are kind of like a very iffy thing. You know, especially when you're talking about Star Wars after what went down with that game. People are very, like, iffy on microtransactions. So if they were to implement something that was cool and let us, you know, not have to spend extra money to get alternate skins, but a way to earn them in game, people would have a blast with that. Imagine, you know, you have like a really cool suit from Spider-Man comics, whether it's the symbiote suit or something, and it costs like 100,000 credits, people would be out there taking as many cool pictures of Spidey as they can possible to earn those Spidey bucks and finally be able to unlock that costume. And that is something that will definitely bring people back day in and day out after they've beaten the story, after they run through those side missions. That would be something that brings players back to this game every single day.
That is true. On the topic of microtransactions, how would you feel if that was in the game? Like, honestly speaking, because I guess, like, again, that's a very argument. It's a very, I guess, like, touchy topic, because they could be in there for, like, you know, ridiculous reasons, or they could be in there for valid reasons. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, how would you feel about that? Like, if it was like something like, I don't know, let's say the Homecoming Spider-Man suit, for example, right? You can't actually get that with these Spidey bucks, but you can purchase it for like $2, $3.
Or maybe it's a pre-order bonus or something. Yeah. It's tough to say, because like when it comes to a single-player game, you know, that extra money is something that has to kind of be earned. Because when you look back at games like, you know, the Arkham series, for example, when they released characters like Robin to be playable, or they released Nightwing to be playable, that was something you had to pay additionally for. And for some people, it was worth it, because you got to run through these challenge maps and play as these characters that you wouldn't otherwise be able to if you hadn't have paid. But for other people, it's like, well, I can't free roam through the city with the characters. All I can really do is just do fighting maps with them, so it's not really worth it. So it just depends on how much bang for your buck you get. So if it's something like $2 for the Homecoming suit, I don't see too many people getting a little crazy over it. But if it's something like 10, 15, 20 bucks for the Homecoming suit, then you're going to see a little backlash, I think. But I don't think we'll ever get to that extreme. I trust, again, in Insomniac, especially because we're living in a bit of a world now where consumers are putting their foot down on video games and, you know, the shady business antics that have been going on with them. We're going to be living in a little bit more of a, you know, consumer-driven gaming world going forward. And I'm hoping and I'm assuming that will apply to Spider-Man PS4.
Right. I'm with you on that. See, talking about, like, you know, Arkham Knight and that series, and, you know, you get different characters, I feel like sometimes, you know, different characters can essentially bring a whole new gameplay experience. So, like, you'll get different things that you wouldn't, basically, with the standard, if that makes sense. So, like, let's say you purchase a character, right, in Spider-Man PS4, whether it be, like, a classic character from, like, back in the day or whatever, right? Let's say you can be Venom, alright? Right, here we go. Let's just dive straight into that, okay?
Okay.
Essentially, you can have a new game for, like let's just say the ridiculous price of like $10, right? $15. You get that, you get a whole bunch of different missions, and the world in Spider-Man reacts completely different to you, right? Because you're a dick. Let's be honest. Like, you know, no one likes you, right? You're the bad guy. But that's giving you a whole nother game sometimes when you look at it in that perspective. Like, sure, it's stupid, microtransactions sometimes, right? But sometimes they do work in a great way. I mean...
Yeah, and DLC is a good thing. Like, some people might consider it to be a bit of a negative thing, but if it's something where the developers genuinely, like, couldn't fit it in the main game, like a Venom DLC, or maybe, I don't know, some sort of expanded map of New York, or expanded missions or something, then it can end up being a positive thing. You know, 6 months down the line, when you think you've done everything you can in Spider-Man PS4, for $20 extra, here's a bunch of cool other side missions you can do, or here's a mission where you get to play as Venom, or something crazy like that. It's just, it's not always a super negative thing, and again, it just comes down to the bang for your buck. If they're willing to deliver something that's worth that money, then I will fork over whatever they need me to. But again, it just has to be that kind of, it has to meet that price match, and it has to be something I am invested in. It can't be something that I'm buying because, you know, I'm covering the game, or I'm just too hardcore of a Spidey fan to not get it. It has to be something where it's like, I played through this and it was worth every penny. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least.
But, like, yeah, I mean, if we can avoid it, that'd also be great, because playing a game to get, you know, I mean, rewarded on certain things within a game, sometimes make the games is so much more valuable. Because a single player game, you know, like we take a look at the online modes, right, for like loads of open world games on there, right? I always hate to bring it in as, you know, an example, but let's take a look at GTA, right? GTA 5, GTA Online, multiple different games similar to that, right? Sometimes being a single player game, I wouldn't say it necessarily means you're not able to have that much potential to be a great game, but keeping the game alive, if you will, after is always considered like a hard thing, I guess. So you want to make sure you kind of refresh it at least anyway, as opposed to just letting it go down the drain, more or less. Because here's another thing, because even, you know, though there's not going to be online anyway, at least for the time being, because who the heck knows what they may want to add in like a year's time, right? Because things can come and go. But like, a way to bring the community together, and going back to your custom suit ideas, again, I've mentioned this before, so some of my viewers would know exactly what I'm talking about, but a way to bring the whole community together where you're able to actually create your own custom suits, and then you put them on like this online market thing, whatever it could be in the game, and you can download it. Basically, you can download, you can download people's suits, and obviously the ones that get the most votes are always the ones that make it to the top of the list. Or sometimes you have to purchase it with Spidey bucks. So let's say you make a cool ass suit, right? And you're gonna sell it for like 300 Spidey bucks, and when I buy that 300 Spidey bucks, you get that 300 Spidey bucks, so you can get something cool as well. Do you get what I mean?
We got a gold mine here that we're reaching into. We might have to be a little more quiet because one of these ideas is gonna get stolen, and we're gonna get no credit for it.
I am taking this video to court with me. I am taking this video to court with me. Trust me.
No, that's a seriously good idea, dude. And I'm telling you, I mean, if they wanted to, I'm sure they'd have the ability to do it.
Well,
it's
that's
just,
the thing.
How do you do it? You know,
exactly.
Because it comes down to like, what is Marvel okay with? Because when you have the ability to kind of like mess with something and create your own thing in a game, the idiots of the world, the dummies, will take it a little extra step further that maybe some people don't want it to go. So it all depends what the customization lengths are, but that is a really good idea, dude.
I know. We're onto something so hot, dude.
We are.
Do you know how to develop games? Because if you do, we're onto
it's game over.
This is it. But, I mean, those are the things in a nutshell that kind of mean the most to me, you know? Not having a dry game is important, having a load of things to do, and multiple characters is going to be absolutely great. I mean, I'm super excited for that, right? Yeah. It's going to allow us to, you know, play differently, essentially, every day. God knows what each character is going to have in terms of their own lifestyle in the game, what they're going to go through. You've got a normal, like, lifestyle, then you've got a Spider-Man lifestyle. So all these different things really do go into action. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, which I feel is very, very important, and I probably should have spoke about at the beginning of the video, but it is about combat in the game. So here's the thing, right? We know, and I might sound like a freak what I'm about to say, okay? Just a heads up. But I mean, some people will be like, hey, you know, Rebel, like, take it easy, you know, it's not that type of game. But, like, you know, when we've seen in the gameplay videos where, like, he will kick some bad guy, like, off the rooftops, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to save them.
That is a little intense. That is a little intense.
My point is, right, like, I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I guess
you just want to kill people. Just say it, okay? You want Spidey to brutally murder people. No, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't know. I think I like that they want to keep that integrity for Spidey. He's not the guy who kills.
He's not that type of guy. Yeah, but that's why I want Venom. Let me be that guy, you know?
Well, hey, you know what I mean?
Never
know. You never know.
Bad rep is what I want. But, like, hands down, ladies and gentlemen, Spider-Man PS4 is going to be definitely one of the greatest PlayStation exclusives, I would say anyway.
100%.
Of the year, without a doubt. We've got God of War. I've never been a God of War fan, to be completely honest with you. I've never played a God of War game. I might just be that type of guy that just judges a book by its cover, but I don't know about you, Caboose. What do you feel about God of War? And I mean,
I've been a big God of War fan. Like, my brother used to play the games when I was growing up, and maybe I shouldn't have been in the room when he was playing them when I was younger, but I have known the games, and I think they are pretty awesome, and I'm looking forward to the new one. But there's just no way around it.
No
Spider-Man PS4 is the biggest exclusive. It's probably like the biggest game this year, like of anything that's coming out this year.
Well, the thing is, how many years has it been since our last Spider-Man game? Like
since we had
6?
the movie game from Amazing Spider-Man, which is now coming up on like 4 years. So it's been a while. It's been a while.
That's been a long time.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, there's just a bunch of different things. Combat in the game, very important, like we said. Having a variety of that. I mean, the combat looks great and definitely improved as well. So all these things are just working out so well. But the open world Insomniac games just don't release a great game and forget about it. That's I guess that's the main thing, right? You just don't want to forget about it. And if you do want to forget about it, you know how to hit me and Caboose up, you know?
Yeah.
That is all it takes, you know? Just a Twitter DM, and we can change the game, alright?
That's
Feel
right.
free. But, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's going to wrap up the video here, unless you have anything else you want to say, Caboose.
I think we covered everything we really wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for having me again, man. This is so much fun.
It's all good. I'm not going to have you back again, so...
Okay.
But no, hands down, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a blast, and we're going to be making a video on Caboose's channel as well. Maybe soon, I guess, like in the next couple of days, so be sure to check that one out when we do make a video on Caboose's great ideas. I'll definitely be sure to let you guys know as well, and check out Caboose in general if you haven't already, because his videos are great. He's a cool guy. And apparently we just know each other for long, man. So we just got to talk positive, right? Like,
again, thank you so much for having me, man. It was so fun geeking out about Spidey with you.
I appreciate it, dude. Everyone, have a great day, and until the next one, subscribe for more awesome content, and adios amigos.